Good morning, everybody. This is Grace Marrero here at the right next to the Board of Elections on the Grand Concourse with the Conservative Party. We're having a little bit of an event. We have our 102 new Conservative Party members that we are going to submit to the Board of Elections. We have, yes, we're live. Okay, we're live, like me, alive.
All right.
Wait, okay, let me turn this around and get action.
All right. Hi, everybody. As most of you know, I'm Patrick McManus. I am the chairman of the Bronx County Conservative Party. We're here today to recognize the hard work of one of our individuals, my chairman, Gonzalo Duran, my vice chairman. Sorry. Gonzalo came to me, it's going to be about 2.5 years ago now, initially as a candidate for city council. At the time, Gonzalo was a member of the Democratic Party. Ooh, let's hear it. Okay. However, after meeting Gonzalo, I realized he was a conservative at heart. Just maybe at that time didn't realize where his party had gone. So we went forward. Gonzalo met with the executive committee, was endorsed and given our line. He was also attempting the Democratic in that election. And going through that process, I think made him realize just how the Democratic machine here in the Bronx works when even one of their own members is willing to stand up and speak against some of their beliefs.
Right.
So after that, Gonzalo was subsequently thrown off the Democratic line, ran on our conservative line. Gonzalo and I continued to meet after the election, and we realized that we had a lot in common. We agreed on a lot of the core values, and Gonzalo at that point expressed interest in becoming active in the Conservative Party. I welcomed him with open arms. He promised a lot of things, which I found very promising. And having researched Gonzalo a little, I said to myself, where is this man going to find the time to do what he's promising?
He does.
I said, however, please, Gonzalo, register as a conservative. We'd love to have you here. We will give you a voice in the party. Gonzalo went on to amaze me. And in the first year to year and a half in his involvement in the party, he managed to single-handedly register somewhere in the neighborhood of 150 new conservatives, new voters, or transitioned from other parties, all on his own. I was absolutely stunned. At that point, he expressed desire to run for vice chair in our last election. Was again, he was voted in as our vice chair, and our reason for being here today, once again, is he's still at it. Since January, the end of January, he has personally again registered another 100 new conservatives, and we're here to recognize Gonzalo for that, commemorate this event, and have his 100 signature actually done here. He's going to have Chris is going to sign his registration form, and we're going to go inside and submit all these registrations to the Board of Elections. With that, I'm going to hand it over to Gonzalo for a moment, and thank you for all of your hard work. Yes. Absolutely.
Well, thank you everyone for coming. My name is Gonzalo Duran. I am the district leader for the 79th district, also the vice chairman for the Bronx County Conservative Party. I'm also running for Congressional District 15 in the Bronx as well. Now, to kick this off, I would like to say thank you, Pat, the chairman for the Bronx County Conservative Party, for not only giving us the resources, but the motivation to bring us at this position. Thank you, Pat. Chairman Cassar, thank you for coming. I know you're very busy, going all over the state, for taking the opportunity to come. We appreciate it very much.
You're never too busy for this.
Thank you. Now, I know we're here to celebrate what I've accomplished, but what I always tell people is that for me to make this level, I didn't do it by myself. You know, and although these are my numbers, at the same time, I was walking around with district leaders like Ellie during the winter time, knocking on doors and getting signatures. Race has always been at my back, pushing me a little bit further and harder than I would like to, but still nonetheless pushing me. And you know, I've been able to walk around with her and meet with her and see her, you know, only speak to other individuals on the street and turn them over to the Conservative Party. Tyreek has always been in some event with me almost on a bi-monthly basis, and in that capacity, they see us working together and they ask, what can we do and how can we cooperate? Gary back there, going to the deepest parts of the Bronx, the heart of the Bronx, the hardest parts of the Bronx, and bringing in, you know, 4 to 5 people at every visit. Also, we couldn't be here today, Zenobia, walking 5 flights of stairs for different buildings to help me out in those situations as well. I'd like to say thanks for Diana over there for when I was in the Democratic Party running for City Council, helping me to achieve the level and see that it could be done with backup. So that mindset began back then, so I appreciate that. And the only person that's come close to my numbers is right there, that man Dion Powell right there. I think last year he got to 90 or 99. Obviously he's been busy with those projects, but nonetheless he's still walking around with me, helping me out with those as well. That being said, I'm only going to speak about this part. I'm not going to talk about the other things that are important, because for us to make a dent or become, I don't want to say, for lack of a better word, a threat to the other party, is we need to increase our numbers. Now, we're obviously working in cooperative with the Republican Party very closely, and that's because we cannot make a real difference if we don't get individuals elected. And this is right there, that's what's important. These cards mean that not only are we increasing our numbers 15% last year, and right now with these numbers we're hitting 15% again. So we have an opportunity to bring more. Now when I get mine, those district leaders got theirs, and that's how we increased to the 15%. So that's an incredible thing, I can tell you right now. You'll see the attrition rate for the other parties, where Democrats are losing large numbers in the thousands, Republicans in the hundreds, and we only gained like 9. Now you have to think about that. The attrition rate that comes with that, we lost so many, but we only lost very few in comparison. And if we can continue that, increase our numbers, COG has verified this as well, our percentage rate for voters, for conservatives, are high, very, very high. For Christy Marrero winning her election, she had over 78% of the Conservative Party line number of voters, registered voters, active registered voters come to her. For City Council, for Jorge Padilla, he had 100% of the conservative. That was a low number, but the point is, if we can increase our numbers and keep that percentage, we will be a real threat. So that's where I want to make sure that the members of the Conservative Party, the Republican, and the Democrats that are here today to know that, and the people watching to understand that as well. That's what I'm working on. That's what I care about, and I'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for
Jerry's gonna. He came all this way. He's got to say something.
I don't really have a. You say I came a long way. Let me tell you this. I could have gotten to Buffalo quicker than it took me to get from Bay Ridge. A car in front of me.
Yeah.
You know what happens. A guy gets a flat. So let me just tell you this. I do travel around the state. I do spend a lot of time in other counties. The team here, has registered more new registered conservatives here than in any other part of the state. I'm not telling you that, you know, there aren't counties like a Suffolk County that has a natural ascendancy, but this team here, with what is it now? It's 250 for you,
250 for me.
90 or more for Dion, and all the total together. What is it? 500?
I would say just about that, for 50%, yeah.
That 500, and he said it earlier, is an amazing number. It is an actual number that you should all be impressed with,
because what it does signify is an increasing role of the Conservative Party. People do not accidentally register in the Conservative Party. They accidentally register in the Democratic Party.
Yes.
They accidentally don't register in any party because they have no ideas what's going on.
That's true.
If you register in the Conservative Party, you're making a commitment. You're making a commitment to values and principles and a change. Now, let me just say this to you. Everyone seems to be surprised when, for argument's sake, large groups of minorities register in the Conservative Party, but that's ridiculous. There are no minorities in politics. There are people that are suffering. It doesn't matter what your color is. It doesn't matter what your ethnicity is. I'm Middle Eastern. My family is from Syria and Lebanon. It doesn't matter. What matters is how government treats you, what you're looking for from government, and it's probably pretty basic. You're probably looking for safe streets. You're probably looking for your garbage to be picked up. You're probably looking to believe that the deputy chief of the governor's office isn't a communist spy. That's probably what you're looking for.
Yeah, exactly.
You're probably concerned that Harris actually doesn't know what she's talking about.
Yes.
And you probably want Donald Trump elected president.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
The Conservative Party has 152,000 members in the state of New York. We all think the same thing. And by the way, to that point that was made earlier at both of you gentlemen, the Conservative Party attracts many, many votes from other individuals to other individuals and from other parties. So for an example, we have 150,000 members. Lee Zeldin got 312,000 votes on the Conservative Party line. Donald Trump got 300,000 votes on the Conservative Party line, and this year we're going to outdo that. This year we're going to try to get him 320,000 votes on the line. Registered conservatives tend to come out and vote conservative. You actually see this in special elections and in the non-presidential elections where the Conservative Party vote is even a larger percentage of the total vote. So here's the thing. I mean, I'm born and raised in Brooklyn. I'm a city guy. I've seen the city world of us in politics come up and down and go around. The last couple of years under Pat's leadership, he's attracted the type of individuals into the party that want to make a difference. They care about their community. They are not running. They're here to stay. There's someone choosing to run for office. That's another way to express yourselves. Now we've got, I mean, he does civic work. He does veterans work. He's involved in, suicide and drug issues that relate to veterans. He runs for office. He's the vice chairman of the Conservative Party. He wants to make sure that everyone knows what he is trying to do. But he's not alone in the Bronx Party. What he is a magnet. He's a magnet for other people that want to get involved and understand that there's a purpose. In the city of New York right now, we have more elected officials, the Conservative Party, than we have had in many years, actually. Staten Island is dominant. Queens has got plenty. Brooklyn's about to set a new record that in the history of the party, they will, on January 1st, have more elected officials than they've had since the party was founded in 1962. Manhattan's still a problem, but the Bronx has elected, and a council member, and the Bronx continues to get an increasing number of votes. Let's just wait for that to go back. Conservative Party continues to increase its imprint on votes. Now, you know how you also see that? You also see it by the way candidates now always put the Bronx. It's not that they're about to put a Columbus Day parade or a festival. They put just regular campaigning on their Bronx schedules. When you see that, you know the candidates are looking for what their return on their investment is, because that's what politics is about. So when you see Lee Zeldin, did I get this wrong? Did President Trump do a rally in the Bronx?
I think he might have. I heard he might have had a rally.
Do you actually think that was an accident?
No.
They know where they can find votes. I mean, and they come here because those votes are available. Those votes are available because of the efforts you all make. Now, I'm going to leave it at that. I really am. To have you guys, the way you're doing this is actually also perfect. you know, you're going to be. I'm going to take all what I get out of this from you all. I'm going to put this up on our state website, our state Facebook,
Yes.
our state Instagram, our state X, Twitter X. It's relevant. And I will tell you, if you were to go on and you were to look at who likes it and who says stuff about it, you're going to see that all sorts of people from outside the city of New York monitor what we do in the city and love when they see events like this. It makes them feel better about what they're doing, whether they be in Syracuse or Montauk. They just feel better when they see the efforts you're making. So I want to thank you all. I appreciate the invite. I'm going to get back to Brooklyn. I can back out here. But that's life in the city. We're all city people.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here, Terry. Welcome.
Woo!
And Chris, if you don't mind coming over here now.
The 100th new conservative here in the Bronx.
All right.
Add something. So, I'm not going to mince words here today. The current state of the Bronx Republican Party has become a disgrace and an embarrassment. An insult to every value that it pretends to stand for.
You got people who don't want
They
to
are bought-
learn English.
They are bought and paid for.
Sit there and say you're
Let me just wait for
Spanish.
this guy. Sorry.
But then sit there and
All
say
right.
you're America.
They are bought and paid for, and they have built for themselves a wall of bribe money, which they use to hide behind while they bend over for the Democrat parasite that continues to decimate this borough. With every hidden handshake and backroom deal, this institution of impotent cowardice allows far-left radicals to use the Bronx as a political prop in order to advance their careers and fill their pockets.
Yep.
It's very easy for Republicans and conservatives to act like the heroes as they stand in front of cameras or behind podiums, complaining about the crime, the filth, and the corruption that plague this city,
They caused
so
it.
long as they have a villain to blame it on. To these people, this is my challenge to you. Buy a mirror and take a good look. Because if you call yourself a conservative or a Republican, and you stand idly by as the open secret of corruption runs this city into the ground, then you are just as, if not more reprehensible than the leftist radicals you pretend to oppose. This era of weaponized weakness must come to an end. And while the so-called leadership that claims to represent conservative values in the Bronx continues to fall asleep at the wheel, I believe it is the Bronx County Conservative Party that can grab hold of that wheel and drive us into a better future.
Yes. Preach, baby.
That is why I have made the decision to join the Conservative Party. For too long, the Republicans have chosen photo ops over principles. They stand on the sidelines while crime runs rampant, businesses dwindle, and families struggle to survive. They've allowed the Bronx to be overwhelmed by chaos and decay, all because they've been intoxicated by the allure of self-interest. Instead of leading, they bend, and instead of acting, they cower. Several months ago, I was eager to get involved, ready to use my experience to help raise a platform for Bronx Republicans and help the party to truly engage with the people that they claim to represent. What I found was a party content with fading into the background, afraid to fight, unwilling to take a stand. Their goal was not to grow or lead, it was to stay hidden, to survive by doing nothing. Frustrated, I set out to find a solution. I was searching for any organization that was actually taking action and one that had, the balls to confront the issues facing our borough. And when I found the Bronx County Conservative Party, it was clear to me that if anyone was going to challenge the status quo, it was them. So I walked into the office of the Vice Chairman of the Bronx County Conservative Party, and he gave me an opportunity. He saw my potential and allowed me to channel my skills, not just for myself, but for the party, and by doing that for the people of the Bronx. Together we achieved success that other parties refuse to even pursue. And that man who trusted me and gave me that chance is Gonzalo Duran. Congressional candidate for the 15th District, and I encourage everyone to support him because he's not just a leader, he's an America First conservative who tirelessly fights every day to make this borough great again. And let's be clear, our only chance to maintain this conservative momentum is to rally behind President Trump and show the world that the Bronx is MAGA.
That's right.
Yes. That's right.
Rhinos have failed this city. Now it's up to conservatives to lead. The Bronx County Conservative Party is at the forefront of re-electing Trump in 2024. And with Trump at the helm, we'll make New York City great again, with the Bronx leading the charge. In closing, I would like to sincerely thank Mr. Patrick McManus, Chairman of the Bronx County Conservative Party, and Gerard Cassar, State Chairman of the Conservative Party. Their leadership and belief in action over words have inspired me and continue to push the Conservative Party forward. The Bronx deserves better, and it's time that we start delivering. Thank you.
Amen.
Amen. Well said.
Hallelujah.
Now, for people to understand, sometimes I meet people, sometimes somebody I know recommends, sometimes somebody just walks into my office. The first thing I do, I have one of these lined up. I highlight it, and I got a pen ready. I'm just trying to get them to sign. Everything else is secondary, and then, I see what I can work with. But with Chris, it was a little bit. I saw his skill sets, and then I was like, "Whoa, I got him. It'll take some time, but I got him." So everything I already double checked. Everything is information, etc., etc. And now just the signature.
Okay.
Today's the 9th.
Wednesday's the 11th.
Yep.
That's it.
Woohoo! Yes.
Number 100.
Now I'm just gonna move this to the side, and I think Pat has something for us. No, you can stay up here.
Is it coffee and donuts?
I
No.
wish.
Again, in order to recognize Gonzalo and his hard work, I'm going to present him with this Bronx County Conservative Party banner that he could use at all of his events and his registration drives going forward. Again, thank you for all your hard work.
Yeah, definitely. Let's get a picture.
I'm going to need I gotta move back. Let me move back here. There we go.
Wow.
Yes.
Nice.
Woo! Yeah.
Go ahead, Conservative Party.
Last thing I'll say is, Pat, Jerry, I think we just need more resources and motivation. We're ready to work more.
Yep. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Great. Great.
And
Great.
I'm just going to walk the registration.
Yes, that's what I was just going to say. That concludes the public part of the ceremony here. With that, myself, Jerry, and Gonzalo are going to walk inside and submit these new registrations to the Board of Elections.
Now,
Right.
every time I go, sometimes they forget that there's even a document. Sometimes
Wow.
we don't get a copy. Sometimes something happens.
Right.
Now I
Gee.
got two house with me to show.
Wait. Gee, I wonder why.
And then, gentlemen, we can take one for the paper.
Okay.
Come close to this.
Don't be shy.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Okay.
If I could just ask everybody to watch that front car there. Make sure
Fine,
he doesn't
watch
get a
it.
ticket.
We'll be back. I'll be back soon.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
I couldn't get your video.
Well, that concludes our public ceremony. Oswald Felice, who is the city council for District 15, thanks for watching. Be afraid. Be very afraid.
That's why I said that my songs on valid.
We're done here. Everybody have a blessed day. We'll see you at the next event. Ciao.
Give me one second.